It's April 8th, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today. In this show, Michael Saylor wants us to remember that one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. Also, we do a little Strike and Strife check-in, see how those guys are doing. Also, we look at BTC, Bitcoin, over the decades, and then also MSTR's strength, their financial strength. Let me tell you, it's flexing its muscles, believe it. And we also have a video clip from Michael Saylor and the conclusion of Fong Lee's presentation. This video is not financial advice. Please do comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. Just comment for support if you have a second. Thank you in advance. And let's dive on in. All right. Our first post today from Michael Saylor, who just wants us to know that one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. End of story. So, if anything else, just keep that in mind. If you have a Bitcoin, it will always be worth one Bitcoin. And if history is a proof of anything, the value of that Bitcoin against dollars in terms of dollars is going to go up and up and up. Chris wants us to know that BTC is the risk off hurdle rates, while MSTR is the risk on hurdle rates. Another great graphic by Chris just sharing that, hey, Bitcoin's volatile, yes, but it's essentially at this stage in the game with the Bitcoin reserve, nation state adoption, everything that's happening with regulatory, it's essentially risk off. Now, MSTR, it's adding some risk onto Bitcoin because it's a 1.5 to 2x leverage of Bitcoin. So let's go strategy. Ben Workman does a little check-in with us on the current strategy preferred yields. Strike is giving us 9.64%. It's at $82.98 currently. And Strife is currently giving a yield of 11.33% at $88.24. So very impressive yield for both of these products. And Chris wants us to know that Strategy is down over 50% from its all-time high back in November of 2024. But its Bitcoin per share is up 60% since then. So just think what's going to happen when the market turns and goes bullish. In my opinion, an explosion. And here, Strategy shares that there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And this is a Vladimir Lenin quote. And Strategy just wants us to know, in every decade, Bitcoin happens. And this is every 10 years since launch. You could pick any 10-year stretch, all the way from starting in 2008 to 2015. And this is what Bitcoin is doing every single decade. Adam says volatility is the price of admission for owning an asset with a terminal supply and exponential network adoption. Bitcoin isn't hedging against price dips in any marketplace. It's hedging against a fiat system mathematically guaranteed to debase over time. Gold lost to paper. Bitcoin audits the ledger. Everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. Period. End of story. Love it, Adam. And then Jeff came at us, Punter Jeff, with a great long post here. So buckle in for this one. 99.99% of people are underestimating MSTR's financial strength. With Bitcoin at 79K, MSTR holds $33.5 billion in net assets minus stats, $33.5 billion. Most people can't comprehend $1 billion, let alone $33 billion. 1 billion is 1,000 millions. 33 billion is 33,000 millions. Here's some perspective. 33 billion in assets alone would be ranked as the 255th largest US company, sitting between companies such as Hershey, Kraft, Robinhood, Block, and Prudential Life. 2 times the size of Reddit, 3 times the size of GameStop, 5 times the size of MGM Resorts. It would also represent the 4th largest reinsurance entity on the planet behind Lloyd's of London, ranked by assets. Financial strength allows for strong trading relationships, trust, and more confidence in the underwriting of future debt transactions. Many people have also expressed concern about MSTR's ability to pay the $150 million in annual interest payments on their current preferred offerings. However, fail to recognize the scale of the interest obligation is a pittance compared to the balance sheet's net assets. 150 million relative to 33,000 million of unencumbered financial strength is 0.4%. MSTR's financial strength allows for ultimate financial flexibility in future debt-based trading relationships, rolling the debt in different formats. Looking into the future at a Bitcoin price of 180,000, MSTR will have more unencumbered net capital than the largest publicly traded insurance company, UNH, currently valued at 480 billion market cap. That's assuming zero additional Bitcoin yield between now and 180K Bitcoin, which of course we all know is not going to happen because Michael Saylor is always buying Bitcoin. In summary, many are vastly underestimating the strength. We have never seen a company accumulate so much financial strength this quickly. Hard to conceptualize what hasn't existed before. Higher. Now we have a great clip from Michael Saylor and Fong Li as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. How is it that some businesses just nail it when it comes to marketing and selling products? Think about brands like Heinz or Allbirds. Well, the truth is, an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business making selling and for shoppers buying simple. And for millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and they also have a not so secret, Shop Pay, which boosts conversions up to 50%. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Want to grow your business? Then your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Just remember, businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Heinz and Allbirds use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/MSTR, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/MSTR to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/MSTR. So check it out. I know we're all looking to stack more Bitcoin and MSTR, and to do that, we need more fiat. So let's chat about our sponsor, ShipStation. We all know the market can seem pretty chaotic at times, but if you're in charge of order fulfillment for your business, you already understand chaos. While we might not be able to help calm the chaos in the market, ShipStation is here to help when it comes to shipping and fulfillment. I've used ShipStation to easily automate shipping to customers around the globe. My favorite part about the platform, managing orders in one simple dashboard makes an otherwise massive task feel pretty darn simple. Plus, ShipStation not only integrates with the services and selling channels you already use, it's also the fastest, most affordable way to ship products to your customers. ShipStation hooks you up with discounts up to 88% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates, and up to 90% off FedEx rates. Calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/MSTR to sign up for your free trial, or click the pinned comment below this video. That's shipstation.com/MSTR. And thank you for supporting our sponsors that allow myself and my team to continue to produce these daily videos for you for free. Now back to the show.
Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich, that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have more money than time, and you're arrogant and egotistical and you just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow. And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you.
So things get a little hard. We have to change things, right? For this to work, and it is starting to work, it requires a new Bitcoin standard. You have to go from traditional capital to digital capital, from US treasuries on your balance sheet to digital balance sheets, all the way down. We're creating a new accounting standard. right? A new credit standard, a new way of viewing public companies in the world. And so when you do this, what happens? We were, and we are, the best performing company in the United States, Strategy, in the last 5-year period, because we found a new way. We stepped out of the groupthink and ideology that they teach at the greatest universities in the United States and all the companies and all the banks and all the consulting groups. We did something different. And not only did we outperform the entire NASDAQ, the entire NASDAQ, the entire S&P 500, the entire Mag 7, but it wasn't even close. And we outperformed Bitcoin. And what happened? Strategy became the most performant, the most volatile, the highest volume, and most interesting stock in the United States as a result of our Bitcoin strategy. And you're saying, well, you guys did it. Can everyone else do it? You're going to hear from 2 of these companies later. MetaPlanet did it last year, starting in April. They outperformed us. They were the highest performing stock in the world by adopting a Bitcoin strategy. Semler Scientific did it. They outperformed Bitcoin. They outperformed the S&P 500. And one of the newer ones, Cooler, did it. This is a replicable strategy. So who else should be doing this? Everyone else should be doing this, don't you think? It takes courage. It takes original thinking. It takes independent thinking. It takes bravery. It takes Bitcoin. Low growth, high cash companies should do it. GameStop just did it. Their stocks outperformed everybody yesterday. Right? What about these companies? What about high growth, high cash companies? Right? They could do it next. And if you see this happen, then you realize there is a way out. There's a way to do something different. There's a way to escape what everyone else is doing in the United States. But we're doing what everyone has told you, what your grandfather told you to do. Make money off of your money. Right? I'm sure someone's had somebody in their life mentor them and say the way to true wealth is making money off of your money. So what do I leave you with? You've heard some of these things. As an individual, as a person, what should you do? Learn Bitcoin, spend 1,000 hours if you can, but start with 100. Build your balance sheet with Bitcoin and break free. When someone tells you something in school, in work, in life, question it. Question the status quo, question the ideology. If you're a corporation, educate folks in your team, your executive team, your board, build your balance sheet with Bitcoin, and break free from the traditional models, traditional products, traditional people. And so I thought it was apt that this conference is about freedom. I think what Bitcoin does is it allows corporations to find freedom from the average. And corporations matter for America, and corporations matter for you. So thank you for your time, and I'll take some questions.
And there you have it, another episode of MSTR today, and it is Tuesday, so we're actually going to be doing Moonshot Mondays today here on Tuesday, since I did the DCA tracker yesterday. And what's going on here? Well, the Russell Index Rank Day is in just 22 days, so we'll see what happens there. MSTR World is just 27 days away. Let me know in the comment section if anybody is going to MSTR World that's watching this video. Unfortunately, I'm not making it this year. My 16-month-old son, Bo, he's keeping me close to home, but I'm hoping next year I'm going to definitely make it in some events between now and then as well. And then the Q1 2025 earnings, the last FASB window. Now, of course, we all know that Bitcoin was not above the needed 97,000 and change for MSTR to report positive earnings. But as a lot of people pointed out, you really kind of want to smash this, not just kind of like creep by it. So it'd be much better if in say like 3 months, Bitcoin's at like 115 or 130, who knows, but let's just say it's there, then they would smash the earnings as a result of that. And that would be a lot bigger splash than just kind of creeping by and not knowing if they're going to dip right down below it afterwards. So I think being patient for another 3 months, another 6 months, heck, if it takes another 9 months, we'll see what happens. We're here. I'm here. Keep surrounding yourself with the right people, because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And as you know, I believe It's inevitable. Inevitable. That's bull with a Bitcoin B and a BULL. And as Michael Saylor says, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.